Okay, imagine this scenario. You're just constantly juggling calls, appointments, documents, uh, trying to keep maybe 1,000 different things straight, all while you're, out and about.
Sounds pretty familiar, right? Especially if you're in a demanding field, something fast-paced like, say, real estate.
Exactly. It feels like this relentless battle just trying to stay organized against all the information coming at you.
Totally. But what if there was like a really carefully crafted system, something built on tools you might even already have that could, actually cut through that daily chaos?
That's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to explore the, well, highly optimized digital workspace of a real estate agent named Josh Barnett.
Right. And our mission for you, the listener, is really to unpack how he systematically uses the entire Apple ecosystem. We're talking iPhone, MacBook, and especially Apple Notes to manage what sounds like an incredibly demanding daily workflow.
Yeah, and the sources for this deep dive, they come straight from Josh himself. We've got transcripts from his YouTube videos, where he's pretty candid, actually. Opens right up about the nitty-gritty of his tech setup.
Uh-huh. So we're going to look at his specific strategies, everything from how he sets up daily tasks, how he chooses his devices, really aiming to uncover practical, actionable tips.
Tips that you can adapt for your own productivity, right? Doesn't matter what field you're in.
Exactly. We'll dig into some surprising pros, some cons too, and how he uses these seemingly small features for, well, pretty big gains.
Okay, so to really get how Josh tames all that daily noise and builds this streamlined workflow, we need to start at the very beginning, right? His foundation.
Absolutely. His command center, which is Apple Notes. So what he does is he kicks off each new month with a totally fresh note. Titles it something simple, like, February 2024.
And that becomes the hub for the whole month.
That's it, the central point.
And one thing that jumps out is how he puts the crucial stuff right at the top.
Yeah, things like listing leads. He puts the owner names, phone numbers, fake ones in his videos, obviously for privacy, but they're right there, instantly accessible. No digging around needed.
But it's not just where he puts it, it's the visual aspect too, isn't it? The colors.
Oh, definitely. That's kind of the genius part. He highlights all his listings in bright yellow, and any dates he adds, they go in blue.
So just a glance tells him?
Exactly. He can just glance and instantly know, okay, that's a listing, that's a deadline, what stage things are at. It's a simple thing, but it massively reduces that, cognitive load.
It's like a mini dashboard right in his notes.
Pretty much. And, for anyone juggling multiple projects or clients, using a similarly visual system colors, maybe emojis, tags, whatever works, it can save those precious seconds that really add up, frees up your brain.
Yeah, frees it from decoding to acting.
Precisely. What's also really interesting is how he merges his personal routines with his business tasks in that same daily list.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, he mentions being inspired by Alex Hormozy, the business guy, so he includes things like Bible reading, a 10-minute stretch, exercise, right alongside checking all his financial accounts, personal, business, checking, savings, even the personal credit card.
Wow, that's thorough.
Yeah, and he uses letters for tasks and numbers for activities. Just creates this really clear structure for himself.
Okay, that sounds incredibly disciplined.
Well,
But doesn't that mean rewriting a ton of stuff every single day? How does he manage the daily reset without starting completely from scratch?
this is where his Apple Nose hack comes in. It's pretty clever, actually.
Okay.
So he has this goal, right? Make 25 contacts a day, often calling past customers from his 17-year database. He uses tools like KVcore. That's a real estate CRM.
Right, to get the list.
Yeah, to generate those names. Now, to reset his notes daily without the rewrite, he literally draws a cross line in notes to push down yesterday's stuff.
Okay.
Then he circles a top part for the previous day, copies it, pastes it into the new space at the top.
And then just clears the check marks.
Exactly. Erases the check marks and switches the color. Maybe uses purple one day, graphite the next. It's this super quick way to replicate his daily structure without typing it all out again.
That is clever. It really preserves the structure, but allows for that fresh start feel.
And that disciplined start, it seems absolutely foundational for him. It sounds like he really lives by that eat the frog first idea.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He makes sure he finishes his personal morning routines and those 25 prospecting calls before he even touches other tasks. Escrow follow-ups, listing stuff, content creation.
So the most important, maybe the hardest stuff, gets done first.
Yep. Gets that crucial win early in the day, sets the tone.
It makes sense. But like you said, eat the frog first often involves actually getting out there, right? Especially for a real estate agent, being on the go is just normal.
The default mode, yeah.
So how does he keep up this level of productivity, this connectivity when he's out in the field? That brings us to his phone, right? The iPhone 13 mini.
His mobile workhorse, as he calls it.
Yeah. So what's the biggest plus for him? The number one reason he sticks with that specific phone?
Oh, hands down, it's the size. The compact size of the 13 mini.
Really? That specific?
Yeah, he talks about it constantly. How comfortable it is for one-handed use, how easily it slips into basically any pocket, front, back, shirt pocket, whatever.
And that matters for his actual work tasks.
Hugely. He says it's ideal for things like doing Matterport shots, those 3D virtual tours,
Uh-huh.
and for vlogging on the fly, or just quickly snapping photos to send to clients. He specifically compares it to his old phone, a larger Galaxy S10, which he just found too big, too cumbersome.
Okay, size matters. And the camera quality, I assume, is good enough for his vlogging and walkthroughs.
Yeah, he seems pretty happy with both the front and back cameras for that. But you mentioned FaceTime earlier. That was actually a huge reason he switched from Android.
Just FaceTime, that seems kind of specific.
Oh.
How did that work in practice?
Well, it was a massive deal for client communication, apparently. Being able to just jump on a FaceTime call for a virtual tour with clients who also had Apple devices. He found that invaluable.
Ah, so it removed friction.
Exactly. It just became his preferred way to do those quick virtual showings. Now, he still uses Google Meet and Zoom for other clients, of course.
Sure.
But that native Apple integration for tours, that really kind of sealed the deal for him moving over. And that obviously ties into the whole ecosystem thing.
Right, it's not just one app, it's how they all play together.
Precisely. Like his AirPods, he loves how they just seamlessly switch between his iPhone and his iPad. He mentioned working late sometimes while his kids are asleep.
Ah, so no blasting audio from the wrong device.
Exactly. Prevents that loud wake-up call. And he also likes the mobile hotspot connection between his devices. Says it's really efficient within the Apple ecosystem.
Okay, so lots of positives, especially that tight integration. But, nothing's perfect. Even with this optimized setup, he must run into some frustrations, right? Some quirks.
Oh, absolutely. There are definitely friction points.
Like what? What throws a wrench in the works?
Okay, for one, Bluetooth.
Yeah.
He says it can be a real pain sometimes, constantly having to toggle it off and on to get his AirPods or his car connection to work properly.
Ugh. Yeah, that kind of intermittent stuff is maddening. What else?
Messaging. He finds it really inconvenient that you can't just add someone new to an existing text thread to start a new group chat with those people, plus the new one.
Wait, really? You have to completely back out and start a fresh message?
Yeah. You have to exit, create a brand new message with everyone. It's an extra step that bugs him.
They can see how that would break your flow if you're moving fast. Little things like that add up.
They really do. And then there's this really weird one.
Go on.
When he uses the Chrome browser on his iPhone, right? If he tries to call a number directly from a Google business page listing,
Yeah.
for some reason it adds letters, like the word call, before the phone number, so the phone can't dial it.
That is bizarre. Does it happen in Safari?
Nope. Only in Chrome, apparently. Very peculiar.
Okay, what else? Any other limitations?
Yeah, the auto replies for rejected calls.
Mm-hmm.
On iPhone, you only get, 3 standard options?
Right, like can't talk right now, that kind of thing.
Exactly. But on his old Android, he said he had unlimited custom replies.
Mm-hmm.
He liked being able to send something really specific, like, sorry, on a virtual tour right now, or just walking into a closing, we'll call back. More context.
Makes sense. You want to manage expectations.
Uh-huh. And his final, maybe biggest messaging frustration. No built-in library for standard text responses.
What do you mean, like canned responses?
Yeah, like if he wants to send recommendations for home inspectors or contractors, things he sends out all the time.
Yeah.
On Android, he could save those right in the messaging app.
And on iPhone?
He has to keep them stored in Apple Notes, then copy and paste them into the message each time.
Ah, another extra step.
Adds friction.
Exactly. Adds friction. But, despite all these quirks and frustrations,
He still prefers the iPhone mini overall. Yeah, his verdict is pretty clear. For him, the specific pros, especially that compact size, the camera quality, and the deep ecosystem integration, they significantly outweigh these drawbacks for his type of work.
and he finds workarounds for most of the annoyances.
Pretty much. Workarounds exist, he says.
Okay, let's pivot slightly, but stay on this theme of daily workflow. His core strategy for, well, really any business based on client relationships, making those daily calls.
Oh, yeah. He's huge on this. He really hammers home the importance of making daily calls to past customers, to leads, before you get sucked into emails or social media or anything else.
First thing, basically, after the morning routine.
Right. So how does he actually, track and manage these goals, make sure they get done.
Good question. Does he use notes for that too?
He does. One method is in Apple Notes. He creates a new note, labels it daily calls, maybe adds the goal like 25 past customers leads,
Okay.
and then he manually types out call 25, call 24, call 23, all the way down to call 1 using the checklist feature.
So he can check them off as he goes.
Exactly. And crucially, he pins that note right to the top of his Apple Note, so it's always visible, always reminding him.
But I think you mentioned he also uses something else for this, an alternative.
He does. He brings up Google Keep as another option, specifically for tracking these calls.
Interesting. A Google product within his otherwise very Apple world. Why Google Keep for this task?
Well, the big advantage he points out is that Google Keep works across everything, iOS, Android, web. So if you're maybe sharing tasks with someone on a different platform or you use different devices yourself, it's super versatile.
Okay, makes sense. And the process is similar.
Yeah, pretty much. Create a note, add checkboxes, type in call 1, call 2, up to 25 or whatever his number is.
But there's a key difference in how Keep handles it, right? Something he prefers.
Yes. This is the cool part about Keep, he thinks. When you check off a call, say call 1,
Yeah.
that item automatically moves down to the bottom of the list into a completed section.
Oh, neat. So the remaining calls shift up.
Exactly. The ones you still need to do are always right there at the top, keeps your focus clear, removes the clutter of the finished ones. He really seems to prefer that UI feature.
That's actually a really smart bit of design. That little automatic sorting makes a surprisingly big difference in just keeping momentum, I bet.
Totally. It highlights how much those subtle UI choices can really impact your daily productivity, your focus.
And just to reiterate his strategy, this call list gets tackled immediately after the personal morning stuff.
Right after.
Yeah.
Using tools like his CRM, KVcore, or maybe just an Excel sheet, whatever, to pull the contact list for the day.
And the results speak for themselves.
Apparently so. He mentions it led to, 11 deals just from his YouTube channel leads last year alone? Because he was consistently following up.
Wow. That really drives home the value of that consistent, proactive outreach, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Doesn't matter if you're in sales, marketing, recruiting, even just building your network. That discipline of daily, direct connection, often way more powerful than just waiting for things to come to you or relying on passive stuff like social media.
Okay, so we've covered Notes, the iPhone. Let's talk about the main brain of his operation, the MacBook.
The core hub, yeah.
This seems to be where the whole Apple ecosystem advantage really clicks into high gear for him. He switched from being a lifelong Windows user, right? And highlights 4 key reasons why. What's number 1?
First big one is seamless audio. Again, it comes back to the AirPods.
The AirPods integration.
Yep, they integrate perfectly with his MacBook. He talks about that automatic switching between the laptop, his iPad, his iPhone. It just works.
Unlike his Windows experience.
Right. He mentioned constantly having to fiddle with settings, manually reconnecting things on his old Windows setup. This seamlessness just makes working from anywhere, switching contexts, much less interruptive.
Okay, less friction with audio. Got it. What's the second big win for the MacBook?
Effortless communication, specifically texting.
Texting from the Mac.
Yeah. He loves being able to text both Android users and Apple users directly from his MacBook keyboard.
Without needing extra software. Because you could kind of do that on Windows, but it was clunky, right?
Exactly. He said on Windows he needed other apps or workarounds. On the Mac, iMessage handles Apple to Apple, and it seamlessly sends SMS MMS to Android users via his iPhone connection. No extra software needed.
And that makes sending things like screenshots or PDFs easier?
Huge difference, he says. Super easy to just drag and drop files into a message to a client, doesn't matter what phone they have. Big time saver compared to emailing or using other methods.
Makes sense. Okay, audio texting. What's number 3? Especially crucial for him as a content creator.
Video transfer. This was apparently a game changer.
How so? What was the old way?
Before, with his iPhone and Windows PC, he'd have to shoot video on his phone, then upload those often massive files to something like Google Drive.
Wait for the upload.
Right. Then wait for it to sync or download onto his Windows machine before he could even start editing.
And now with the MacBook.
AirDrop. Simple as that. He just airdrops the large video files directly from his iPhone to his MacBook. Says it's incredibly fast, seamless, just cuts down drastically on that content workflow time.
Yeah, AirDrop is pretty magical when it works. Okay, and the 4th reason. This one sounded maybe less techy, but really impactful for him.
Yeah, it's the comfort factor, specifically heat, or the lack thereof.
The MacBook doesn't get hot.
Almost not at all, he says. He contrasts it really vividly with his previous Windows laptop, a powerful Asus model.
Which got hot.
He called it a jet engine. Said it would literally make him sweat if he was trying to work with it on his lap.
Wow. Okay, yeah, I can see how that would be limiting.
Totally. But the MacBook stays cool, so he can comfortably work for long stretches, even, like you mentioned, while putting his kids to sleep or just relaxing on the couch. It's a small detail, maybe, but it makes a huge difference to his actual daily quality of life and where and when he can be productive.
So, taking those four things together, the audio, the texting, the video transfer, the lack of heat, what's the big picture for his workflow?
Well, they really paint a clear picture of the massive productivity boost he feels he gets from being fully immersed in that Apple ecosystem, especially for someone like a real estate agent who has such diverse needs, communication, content, mobility.
Right. It all just works together more smoothly for him.
But in essence, yeah, Josh Barnett's whole approach, it's systematic. Leveraging notes, the specific iPhone, the MacBook,
Yeah.
it creates this really efficient, interconnected workflow for his business.
It's a fascinating mix, isn't it? Some really simple hacks like the notes copying thing combined with the power of that whole integrated ecosystem.
Exactly. It maximizes output and just minimizes the daily friction points.
Okay, so considering everything Josh laid out, his detailed experience,
Yeah.
here's maybe a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. How might a really deliberate look at your own current tech tools, the apps you rely on every day, the devices you use, how well or not well they talk to each other? How might that reveal some hidden opportunities?
Opportunities to maybe streamline your productivity or even just create a more enjoyable work experience.
Yeah. We'd encourage you to maybe reflect on your own daily routines. Think about whether just a few strategic tweaks to your digital environment inspired by some of these ideas could maybe yield some significant gains in efficiency, maybe in focus.
Absolutely. What's maybe one small change you could experiment with today?